What up, party people? It's your boy, Nigel Henderson, and my partner in crime, Omar
What's up? What's up, everybody?
Alcibar.
I'm sorry. Look at me. I'm jumping the gun. I'm so excited to be back. I'm not even letting them get through the introductions. Sorry, guys. What's up, everybody? Omar, old marvelous here for you. Nigel with the knife. What is up?
And we are the Gumbo Pot Podcast. It's been a minute, brother. How you been?
Man, I've been good. I've been good. Made it out of this so far. I mean, assuming that it doesn't start up again.
This being the
But
pandemic.
we're, yeah, we're healthy. We're employed. So that's about as good as you can hope for right now.
Yes, indeed. That's what I'm talking about, brother. Well, it's been a minute. We're glad to be back with the podcast. We're going to be doing some more episodes. We got a special guest for y'all today. But before we start, I want to make sure you click that subscribe button. Make sure you like, make sure you share it with a friend. The Gumbo Pot Podcast, where we chop it up with special guests about everything creative, what's going on in their life, the creative process, and of course, food. Lots and lots of food and drink. Uh,
That's right.
and
Tell your
today,
friends about it.
yes, indeed, tell your friends, tell your mama, tell your daddy, tell your cousin, tell your baby mama, tell your, your spoogie, your boo on the side. Today, Omar, we got a special guest in the house, multi-talented producer. This brother has released damn near 15 albums in the last 10 years. If I don't want to misquote it, but he wrote it.
Right on.
This gentleman's name is Polyester the Saint. We're gonna cue him in. What's up, my brother? How you doing?
Hey.
What's going on?
Oh, you wasn't ready. You wasn't ready for that. Hold on, let me get
Uh,
we got you all got all that.
yeah,
How you
yeah.
doing, my brother?
I'm doing great, great, great.
Where you calling from, brother? Where you at? Look like you in a
Right now,
vehicle.
I'm at my son's football practice.
Okay, I love that. I
Yeah.
love that. What position he play?
Receiver and cornerback.
Okay, Pop
All
Warner.
right.
Yeah. What'd you say?
Is he doing Pop Warner?
He did Pop Warner last year. This year he's doing Snoop Dogg's league.
Ooh,
He's
nice,
on
nice.
the
Oh
LA
shit. All right.
Chiefs.
You
Yeah.
said the L.A. Chiefs.
Yeah.
Oh, shouts out to the L.A. Chiefs, y'all.
Yes.
Yeah. Give 'em- There it is.
So, well, in normal gumbo pot fashion, we usually cheers before the episode with whatever beverage we're consuming. I understand you and your
I got some horchata.
there you go.
Oh, okay.
So
I
Or
like them already.
my man got his horchata. I got my nice little red blend.
yeah, I
And
need to
Yeah.
Omar,
put a little maker's mark in here. So.
there you go.
I
There
mean,
you go.
that's what's in here. That's for sure. You know what I mean? Cheers, everybody.
Cheers, y'all,
Yep.
to doing it in person pretty soon.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying?
Mm,
Yes. Yes.
absolutely.
So, my brother, uh, this is the Gumbo Pot Podcast. We chop. It's you chopping it up with the homies. We want to know a little bit about you. I want to know your origin story, how you got your start. Kind of like X-Men when Wolverine got his powers and shit years back. Um, and we just want to hear from you. We don't want to hear from anyone else's
Okay.
mouth but the horse's mouth. So, my brother, how I we crossed paths several times in the streets.
Yeah.
And you was always 100. And then I think I did a reel or a story on Instagram, and it's one of my favorite Dom Kennedy songs, and it had Kendrick on it, and then you was like, brother, I did that, and then there was a couple others you would always tell me, yeah, that's my shit, that's my shit. Um, you a LA native, right?
Right. Definitely.
You represent what area?
Mid city.
Mid City. Okay, yep, yep,
Yeah.
yep.
All right.
Yes. Yeah.
The birthplace, the
I love it.
motherland.
Yes.
Um,
Yes.
how did you get started? Where did you come up with the name? What was your first beat? What was your
Uh,
first shit you spit? Like, give it to us.
well, musically, I've always like played drums. I played keys. Um, since a little kid, I was in jazz band, marching band. I was just always into instruments and stuff like that. And I just grew up always playing instruments and actually just having a natural talent for it. I could pick it up and just pick it up really and get busy. So I always knew I wanted to make music once I grew up. And then the name Polyester the Saint, Saint is my middle name, and polyester was a nickname from high school. I used
Okay.
to wear like plaid. I used to wear like plaid pants, like golfer pants, but I would have them on with Jordans or something like that, just like switching it up. I wore best dress in high school because I was always trying to
All right.
just be. I was on my own tip, you know.
I feel
So
that
they
shit.
so they used to just call me polyester. I think for the pants, and I used to have this shirt. It was a funk band. Um, the group was called the Polyester Players.
Hmm.
So they used to call me Polyester Player at high school, and then after high school, I just kept the polyester because most people just called me that. Off top, I've probably been called that more than my real name, in my whole life.
Okay. What high school did you go
Yeah,
to?
I went to LA High, and then my mom moved to the Valley, and I went to John Burroughs High School, and I graduated from John Burroughs High School in Burbank.
Okay. So you
Yeah.
know everybody all over LA.
Oh yeah, from the Valley to from Long Beach, even in the Bay. Yeah, even in the Bay. Yeah.
So did that? I mean, with we'll dive a little bit deeper into your projects, but I did notice. I
Yeah.
mean, you worked with several artists. Is did that ever was that just by design or because you or from out around LA, you parlayed it? Like how did that work out?
Well, a lot of the artists that I've worked with, or some of the people that been on my project, I started off as a producer. Even to this day, like that's what I consider myself more first.
Mhm.
I just tried
Mhm.
to be an artist because like I would do certain songs for people that I produce, almost on some Pharrell, like I'm on the hook, but I made the beat. So then after a while, I'm
Right.
like, okay, everybody's loving this beat with the hook. I'm on here twice, so what happens if I'm on here the whole time? And so
Hell
I
yeah.
made a project like maybe 2010ish, I think it was, and then I put it out, and maybe less than a year, I was like, "Oh, do you want to come do a show in Singapore?" And
Oh
I'm
shit.
like, "Yeah." Like, and so
Hell
I
yeah.
just been
Say less
carrying it
shit.
from there. And it's worked hand in hand because a lot of the things that I might produce for a certain artist might not be what I would make for myself or vice versa. But they work with each other. Whereas, like, when I worked with Nipsey, it was like, they was like, "Oh, I don't want that stuff you he said this and Problem said this. Like, no, I don't want that stuff that you made for Don. I want that stuff that you make on yours." And I was like, "Oh, I didn't even know you pay attention to my little thing that I got going on." Like, I just knew
Right.
everybody knows me. Not everybody, but a lot of people know me for producing. I produced a lot of the artists that's well known right now, but when in their beginning stage, you know.
Mhm.
Well, you also
Yeah.
being modest, my brother. Like 15 albums, 15 albums
Yeah.
started from
It just
2010. I mean,
yeah,
some years you dropped two. I think it looks
yeah.
like
Last
2021 you
year I
dropped
dropped,
three.
yeah, and I'm trying to drop three this year. Yeah, I will because I just put one out 2 weeks ago,
Hmm.
and I'm about to put another one out 2 weeks from now. I just finished it last night.
Nice. What's the
That's
name of
right.
that
Yeah,
Yeah.
album
you
that's coming
just
out, brother? What was the name of the album that's
Which
out right now? I know, but
the other one? It's called "In Us We Trust"
mhm.
Side A, and then "In Us We Trust" Side B comes out April 14th.
And I saw you got the merch and everything else popping too. I saw
Yeah.
the shirts today.
yeah.
Yep. Yep.
I was gonna
Just dropped them
say.
today.
I was gonna say that you just dropped a video too, right?
Right. Yep. I dropped a
Yeah.
video last week, and then maybe 2 weeks before that, I dropped one too as well.
Damn,
Yeah. So see,
he's modest.
this
He's
man
like
stays busy.
he's like yeah.
Yeah, man. I'm
I
trying to
just
stay
dropped
on
one
their
video.
head,
I'm gonna have
man.
about four or five more.
Yeah. So
Yeah. And
so I got
I
a question.
realized like you. Hmm.
No, no, no. You can finish what you were saying. Sorry, man. There's a bit of a lag on here.
No, it's okay. I just realized you gotta, like, in this new day and age, like, before, when I first started, I just put one project out a year because I was working on all these other people's albums. So my first
Hmm.
projects were like me making songs in between working with somebody else all day. Like, oh, this person's late. All right, I made a song. So then I'll have 11 of them, and I'll be like, all right, 12 or 13, and be like, all right, here's an album. And I would say in the last like 4 years have I like kind of been like really giving myself the attention that I gave other people.
Nice.
Yeah,
I was gonna ask because we're getting into all the stuff you're doing now, but let's take it like way back, right? So,
that's thank you. Yeah,
how old would you say you were when you like okay, I when you made your first beat?
probably about 12 or 13. I got a keyboard. My dad was good friends with Stevie Wonder. They're like really really good friends.
Oh,
So when he's known me my whole life. So when I got like 12, he gave me this keyboard that allowed you to make. It had like 8 tracks on it, so it allowed you to make beats on it.
damn.
But I don't know what they sound like. I didn't even know how to loop on it. So when I would play a drum, when I do the drums, I would just do a drum beat for like 3 minutes, and the beat would start slowing down and speeding up, and then I'll do the bass line for 3 minutes. Then the keys was like, yeah, I didn't know what I was. I was 12, and it was like I
Yeah.
seen it actually the other day on OfferUp, and it was going for like $1,000, and I was like, dang.
Damn.
So that was over 20 years ago. It must have been like a $2,000-3,000, keyboard back then.
Yeah, yeah.
Damn. Damn.
You
Man, I
know,
was on I was on one of them Casios with like the bossa nova beats and the they
right,
had those like
right,
pre-made.
right. Pre-made, yeah.
Didn't even have
I
all the
had one of
keys.
those too. I had one of those too. And I used to turn the radio on, and I would try to play to the radio, like to learn those songs. And then I stopped liking that because, like, at first, when you first start playing, like, people be like, oh, you play the piano? What can you play? They want to hear you play something they know. But then I realized that it's better when it's something they don't know and it just sounds good. So I stopped playing
Yeah.
like I remember one of the first songs I was playing was dum 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 dum
Mm-hmm.
dum 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 dum. As soon as you do that, everybody's like, "Hey," So then I was like, "This is corny. What if I play my own little ditty bop and they don't know it and get them to going?" So that's kind of like I just kind of took off from there.
Okay.
Nice.
Okay.
Do you still
Yeah.
have those beats? Like, could you access those beats, or they
No,
lost
they
to
were
time?
on 3.5 floppy disks. I'm showing my age, but I
Damn.
don't care. I love my age. It took a lot to get here. You
You ain't
know,
lying.
they,
Yeah.
you feel
So
me? They was on 3.5 floppies that you could get at Staples. My mom took me to Staples, and that's how I was saving them on there. I didn't know what I was doing, but that was my humble beginnings.
Hey. Shit.
yeah.
That's dope,
Does
Yeah.
man.
anybody have a Hewlett Packard? Anybody who's watching this have
Right,
if you have a Hewlett
right.
Packard Pavilion.
It's like the Chargers like finding a charger for a BlackBerry or something. Like, you got a
Yeah.
charger for
Yeah,
my
exactly.
BlackBerry?
You need a connector to connect the connector at this point. You just got to have that old
Yeah,
technology readily available.
right.
Lord help me. So,
Yeah,
you've been doing it for a minute, and we always like to kind of get to the nuts and bolts of everyone's creative process, and it's probably
right.
evolved over over the years. But like, can you walk us through that creative process when you're creating a sound, whether it's for yourself or someone else? And I'm
Well, normally I like the mood to be right. I like to have like at least 2 bottles of wine for sure,
okay.
some sour candy. I gotta have those
All
type of
right.
things to make it be to get the vibe right. And then I usually start off with the keys a little bit, playing around. So I find this it's the sound. Once I find that right sound, then that's what I move with.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right. Righteous. Righteous.
And from when from when you made that first beat, right? How long would you
Right.
say till you sold your first beat, or did you put out like some shit on your own before that?
My first placement, my first placement that I ever had was it's funny because it was with so there was this singer named Corey Clark, and he was on American Idol. He was the one who had said he was with Paula Abdul, right? And so this one
I
studio I was
remember
yeah,
that.
this one studio I was working at, it was at the time I was engineering only because I had graduated from engineering school and I was doing engineering jobs, but I wanted to be a producer, which was great because it kept me in the studio instead of me wanting to be a producer and working at McDonald's. I
Mm-hmm.
wanted to be a producer, but I was still in the studio. So I
Okay.
was getting to meet
Hmm.
people and be around people who really do it. And like I was working with B2K at the time. It was like the You Got Sprung uh,
Hmm.
soundtrack or something like that. And like Corey came while this is like either while he's on the show or right after, and we made a song because I was making beats and he just made a song. And maybe like 2 3 years later after that, he had got a deal and they wanted to use it and they needed the files to mix it and all this. And I was like, whoa, okay. So that was like my first time getting a little bit of money and you know
Nice.
getting a placement. It was on Universal. It was a major, it was a major album that came out, and I don't know what it did, but it did. It definitely had
Right.
my name in it.
So at that point, were you like,
That was
so,
as a producer, as an engineer though. I worked on this album. It's called Unwrapped, and it
hmm
was where they took all the hip hop songs and made them jazz. So the producer of that
Oh,
was a
sick.
was a friend who knew me. He was almost like an uncle. He knew me my whole life. He used to let me come over his house, work on his drum machine. I helped him work on that album a little bit, and that had my name in it too.
dope, dope. I worked promo on that album.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Oh, you did? Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
In my
Yep.
old
On
life,
Hidden
in my
Beach.
old life.
Yep.
We got to find out what that
Yep.
album did to see if Nigel was good at his job or not.
Oh
We
no,
like,
it was more like intern,
well, how
early
good
on
did
from
you
what I
promote
remember.
it?
you know why it I don't know what it sold, but if you go to any fish fry or any type of black something, they're playing that like a family reunion or something like
Hey,
that. They're definitely gonna play
get some royalties off that somehow. Shit.
it. Yeah. So
Well, that's dope, brother. I
yeah,
like
yeah,
to hear that. In, so that was your first real placement. How
right.
far or how long later before you were like, okay, I can do this and make a living at it? Because it's one thing getting a placement and getting that check, and then it's
Right.
another like,
I
oh no,
you
I
know what
can
it you,
sustain.
so yeah, I always kind of felt like that. That it was like this was a ride that I'm not getting off of. So it wasn't like once I started engineering and making money,
hmm
I had multiple skills that was always going to keep me in the field.
Okay.
Hmm.
So I always felt like I could make a living off of it.
And so now, how do
Nice.
you feel about? I mean, because mark me if I'm wrong. Most of your work is independent, if
Mhm.
not all.
Most of my work for myself, not I have placements with other
Mm.
artists and people that have been signed, but at this point, it's I respect like I've worked with some artists that might work at Planet Fitness,
hmm
and I've got paid
Hmm.
more money from them than I ever did as somebody who, what I'm saying, was signed. So what does that really mean, anyways?
mm
You know,
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
it's a
more
job,
so for you as an independent artist with your body of
right?
work in this
Right,
streaming world. Since you have so much, I
right,
mean, it helps. It's nothing but a blessing at this point, right?
right. No, yeah. Now that things are moving the way they are, I look at it like every song I don't put out is some money I don't have. So that's why you see me putting out
Right.
so many projects because I'm like, yo, let me give them a lot of me. You know what I'm saying? And
Hmm.
my type of
Mhm.
vibe of music that I do for myself has been like considered almost undergroundish to a degree because it's more like lifestyle music. But
Hmm.
now
Right.
everybody's ready to sip wine. Everybody's ready to have muscle cars and be a player and do all these things. 10 years ago
Right.
when I was saying that, they wasn't on that. You know what I'm saying?
Hey,
Everybody wanted to be like Lil Wayne or something.
hey, ain't nothing wrong with it, brother. That body of work,
Yeah.
Right.
it
That
speaks
that
for it.
yeah, and that means you're in perfect placement for them to catch up with you. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no,
So,
and it is. And I'm seeing a lot of other artists that are, I wouldn't say, I never say they're copying me, but they're definitely like in the same vein. And when I was doing
hmm
it for so long by myself, it was kind of niche. I remember I met with a promoter for a show and he loved my music, but he was like, I don't know who I could put you on a show with. Like, because what you do is so over here. And like,
right.
I think at the time Tiger Rack City was out. You know what I mean? I'm talking about palm trees and wine and going to Paris and you know what
Yeah,
I'm saying, bolognese and all
Yeah.
that. And everybody else is Rack City, Rack City. You know what I mean?
yeah,
It was just different.
yeah. And I mean, at that point, well, I don't need to work with that type of promoter because you don't
Right,
fit me, kind of thing.
right,
Right.
right. No, and he liked it. He just it was some real game though.
Hmm.
I understood what he meant.
Hmm.
Like for what I'm doing at that time in the world, everybody wasn't ready for that. Now they are.
Hmm.
hmm
Yeah.
Everybody's trying to chill and be adults.
Yeah,
Right.
look, you sipping black owned wine. I remember 8 years ago I flew up a manager I had flew me up to Napa Valley because I always wanted to come out with my own wine and
Hmm.
I sat down with a big wine distributor and gave him my whole idea about what I wanted to do and like letting them know like, hey, people of color sip wine too. It's not just white. Actually, I
hmm
see a lot in LA, I see a lot people of color that drink wine. And they're like, really? I was like, yeah, but we don't buy the $50 bottles. We buy 10 of the $15 bottles. You know what I'm saying?
And then if we
you
like
know?
something, we might spend a little bit
But I,
more.
yeah.
yeah, but I told them like this. I was like, you make, because they had two bottles. It was 50 and 100. So somebody's going to buy that $100 bottle of wine. They're going to be like, this is $100. I'm going to pour one glass and put it away.
Yep.
Where is you're somebody like me, I bought like two bottles a day of wine. So if I'm patronizing you, I'm spending that amount of money in a week. Where
Yep.
somebody might hold
Right.
that hundred
Exactly.
dollar bottle for a month or something, you know.
hmm
But then they went with Gabrielle
Yeah.
Union, and I was mad.
Everybody's trying to get that shtick and use that little Hollywood
Ye-
plug. I'm not
yeah, they
mad
were
at it,
like,
but I get it. But
we're gonna go with Gabrielle. They're like, this is a nice story, but no.
she's been in a couple movies. Uh,
Yeah,
she's
exactly.
beautiful. Uh,
Right. I was
I
like, you
read
could
about
build
her
it
in the
up. I'm
Hollywood
young. I'm
Reporter.
from LA. That'll be a big story, you know. Young black dude with his own bottle of wine, and that was like 8 years ago, 9 years ago.
But that doesn't mean it still can't happen. I mean,
No,
yeah.
I'm
definitely.
seeing it pop up
No, it's
more
gonna
and more
happen.
and more.
He
Yeah,
just got to
definitely.
compete with Snoop Dogg. He got his whole face
See, and that's
on the
the thing.
bottle.
I had a song called West Side Wine Sippers in 2012,
Okay,
10 years ago,
we're gonna have to,
because I was
we gonna
already
play
on
that
that.
because he was
Yeah,
already a West
hmm
West
Side
Side Wine
sipper.
Sippers. Yeah, 10 years ago.
So okay,
Man.
that kind of segues into the next part of the podcast where we start to. I mean, you already kind of went into it. We start talking about wine, um,
Right.
and so obviously it's the Gumbo Pot Podcast. So we got to talk about food. We talked about the creative
Yes.
process already. Um, so a we're gonna start with a couple questions within the wine space. Um,
Okay.
what's your favorite grape to consume? What's your favorite wine at this
I,
moment?
I like Pinot Grigio. I know that's cliche, but that's like my go-to. Like I know what I want. Like Chardonnays, I could kind of do them sometimes, but it doesn't give me what I'm looking for. I like feel like I'm settling when I get some Chardonnay. Most
Okay.
places have Chardonnay. They don't even know. They just call
Nice.
it white wine. It's like, yeah, we have white wine. We have red and white.
Yes, indeed. What kind of red? It's a
And
blend.
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. And so yeah, I like Pinot Grigio. That's my go-to.
Okay. Are you doing any?
What
You
what
tried any
let's
of the
do let's
naturals?
do a
Oh,
top
excuse
wait.
me. My bad. My bad. Go
No,
ahead.
wait,
Go ahead.
Nigel.
Oh,
Let's do a top three. Let's do a top three because
Okay.
he knows about
Pinot
wine, so it's kind of
Grigio.
limited, right?
I like Syrah for a red. And then
Hmm.
I don't know what my third would be. I don't know.
All right.
mm.
Yeah, I don't know.
Depends on what you're
That's
eating.
kind of hard to say.
Do you like to pair with the
Nice.
food that you're eating, or is it mainly just a sip?
More so, uh, I like red to pair with food.
Mm.
White, I like
Hmm.
for breakfast. You feel
Makes
Nice.
me?
sense. Makes sense.
You feel me? You
Nigel,
know,
what are your
I'm not
top
gonna
three?
wake up and drink some red wine, but I'll definitely drink some white for sure.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. I feel that shit.
Yeah.
For me, um, certain reds, I gotta kind of just be in the mood. I do
Mhm.
like uh, I do like my rosés for some reason. You know, everybody talk like a cliche. I like rosé, but
Hmm.
Right.
don't do sparkling rosés though. Can't fuck with that. That shit.
Nah,
Nah.
not
But
my
Right.
thing either.
a smooth kind of dry rosé, I'm rocking with a nice red blend. I'm starting to taste a little bit more Zinfandels, and you know we were talking off camera about the wine club. They send a lot of natural wines, so
Mm.
getting a lot
Hmm.
more options of those, and like the flavor profiles are kind of all over the place. So
Right.
I'm really rocking with that. Um, one of my first
Nice.
jobs in culinary out of culinary school, excuse me, was a wine bar, and it was downtown by the Staples Center, and we'd have a kind of you're supposed to have a shift drink. Well, their shift drinks, they would just keep giving me flights of stuff. So it was kind of overkill.
Hmm.
So I love wine, but it was like I can't keep up what I'm sipping every day. So
Right.
Right.
I'd say I'm still kind of figuring it out. What about you,
Yeah,
O?
Yeah. When I
I'm
first
a
got into wine, hmm
Sorry about that.
no, go for it.
when I first got into wine, um, I didn't know what the names were. I didn't know what anything
Right.
about it. I just had some wine one day. Started off with Carlo Rossi, and just realized that was it. That's Kool Aid. But I started off with the Rossi, and then I just when I would go to the store, I would just grab whatever bottle I thought looked cool.
Hmm.
And so I just
Hmm.
try. It made me try all the. Oh, I never had this. I never had that. And that's how I started to develop my palate for wine. Like okay, like I pretty much can tell what something is by taste.
Nice, nice.
I can't
Nice.
tell the year and all of that, what
Right.
region
Right.
and all that, but I can tell if it's Chardonnay or Sauvignon. You know what I'm saying?
This grape is from Compton 2 years ago.
Yeah, yeah.
Yes,
have you
indeed.
have you
Right
ever
after
seen
Get Rich or
have you
Die
ever seen that
Trying came
movie?
out.
I can taste the grapes.
Have
Yeah,
you ever seen that movie Psalm? There's a movie called Psalm. It's about sommeliers. It's like a
I
documentary.
think so.
Man,
Yeah.
it's a trip.
Was it
Like,
about the dude Rudy?
yeah, yeah,
Yeah. Rudy's a cold boy, man.
man, that's
I'm gonna
that's
have to check
crazy.
that out.
Cause
I'm gonna
like
check that out.
Yeah.
I I
Please
didn't
watch
learn.
that, bro.
Yeah, yeah, you should check it out. I mean, I didn't really mess with wine until like I was working at Trader Joe's.
Nice.
I was
That's a
working
good
at
place.
Trader Joe's,
He was breaking
and
open the
Yeah.
box in the back.
Yeah. In the back, at least
Two
where
buck
I was
chuck.
like, I think I want to say every month or some shit like that, they would do a tasting of the new stuff that would come to the store. So in the back,
Yeah,
we would all have like different. This is the new this is whatever. Um, and that's what got me into like literally that $2 chuck. I'm like, all right. And out of all of them, I was
right.
like, the cab is cool. I can stand the cab.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
So like,
yeah.
cab became like the only wine I would drink, but I would put cab
Okay.
at my number three. My number one favorite wine is
Okay.
like an old vine Zin. Like I like Zinfandels.
Okay.
Oh,
Um,
Zinfandels.
that's
Okay.
that's really good. Yeah, that and then if I'm eating with like steaks or anything, a Malbec.
Okay.
I think
Yeah,
a
Malbec.
Malbec
I
is
was gonna say Malbec.
man, those are
Yeah,
good.
yeah.
Yes, indeed.
I was gonna
We
say Malbec.
we're gonna have to go out and sip. Got a couple of
Yes,
Yeah, I mean
I'm
that'd be
opportunities
definitely
great.
coming
down.
soon. We do some wine tastings and shit like that.
As
Yeah.
soon as we get some sponsors,
Yes,
we gotta
indeed.
get some wine sponsors.
Yes, indeed. Let me try and we're gonna shoot for one right now. Oh yeah. Ooh, there we
Oh,
go.
there it is.
Natural.
Yes,
Oh yeah.
yes.
Really good.
The
That's what we on.
finest. I can tell by the cork it tastes good.
Man, it got some things in it. It got some things in it. So we ask everyone this, but this is your last meal on earth. What you eating, brother?
Well, I'm gonna be real with you, bro. I grew up in LA and my taste buds are Mexican. So it's gonna have to be it's gonna have to be something in them realms, bro.
Okay.
Like I'm gonna be real with you. I love I love soul
Yeah,
food and I
smart
love
man.
like I just can't eat it every day. But I just ate a burrito like 5 minutes ago. That's why I got the horchata. Like no,
Yes,
but
indeed.
for
I
real
ain't
though,
mad at
like
that.
I grew up when I grew up we had a housekeeper and she was from Guatemala and she was with me from 5 to 15. And so she cooked every single day during the week. So I just grew up eating like all of that type of food. You know what I mean? So, but don't get me wrong, my family's from Louisiana, and I love gumbo, jambalaya, and all of
Yeah.
that. Definitely. The only thing is, I don't eat pork,
Hmm.
so that kind of makes it hard
Mm,
sometimes.
Bruh, I moved down to New Orleans and didn't eat pork.
I
It
know
was
they look at me like I'm crazy. They look at me like I'm crazy. Like, what are you talking about?
well, I couldn't be a chef down there without eating it, so I quickly adapted. But it was a rough transition. Woo! But hey, afterwards,
mm.
hey, I'm that guy.
Yeah.
You had to suffer. You had to suffer with
I went the reverse way. I
delicious
went
pork.
from eating it so much
Hmm.
to saying, yo, you know what? I need to let pork chill for a minute.
Ah,
And then
Hmm.
it just been going on. I would say a good 18 years I have not
oh
like
wow,
consciously ate pork. There's been a couple times I've been bamboozled.
consciously.
Yeah,
I was about to say, sometimes that don't work
yeah,
out well.
yeah. There's been some clam chowders that had a little bacon bits in it that I
He was like, it was
that I've
slapping,
had.
but something wasn't right.
Yeah. Yes, I've had that happen.
Yes, indeed. So, what part of your people from in Louisiana?
Shreveport
Okay,
and I guess a few in New Orleans too as well. Yeah,
okay. Yeah,
yeah. My mom's from San Antonio, but my dad's family is all from Louisiana.
okay. That's how mine in
Yeah,
reverse. My mom's people are from New Orleans. My dad's people are from Texas, Houston.
yeah,
So,
yeah. Well, yeah. My family's from Houston too, but my mom she just so happened to be born in San Antonio, but all her family's in Houston. Yeah,
nice, 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 nice.
yeah.
You
So, did you pick up any of those cooking skills? I mean,
No, I'm not a
it,
cook.
can,
I can make some breakfast and that's it.
I was gonna ask. I was like, so you cooking, my brother?
Nah, breakfast, I got you. Anything else, it's a stretch.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. But for breakfast, what are you pairing with your white wine?
Hash browns The hash browns got to be there. I need
Yep.
some over medium eggs, turkey sausage, and
I
maybe
love it.
cut up orange or something. You
I
know?
love it. I love it. I love it.
For vitamins.
And some vitamins,
Yeah, for my vitamins.
because we getting up there in Age.
Yes, yes,
Gotta have the supplements
definitely.
on deck. Shit.
Yeah.
So we're a little bit past it, and but it's I still ask everyone. During the quarantine, we all picked up good and bad habits, especially in the food space. Um,
Mhm.
did that did you have any vices that kind of crept in there? Maybe Krispy Kreme donut or it's two burritos versus one in the morning.
2 burritos.
I would say I became more of a DoorDash fool. Like
Yep.
I was door dashing before COVID, but still
Right.
not doing it as much. When COVID hit, it just made it the way of life. And I think I just I I looked at the
Yeah.
orders. I'm like, dang, I order from you guys at least like 3 times a week,
Yeah, you put some bread in that pocket.
3, 4 times. You know?
Yeah. So
Yeah,
much additional money. You know what I mean? Like in
yeah,
fees and stuff. It's crazy.
I don't
yeah.
want to look at it.
And I even pay for the little pass so that my deliveries is free and all
They got you.
Oh, for real? You
They
joined
got
that?
you, bruh.
that. Yeah, yeah.
It kept popping up
Cause
like,
I order
you can
so
order
much.
this.
Yeah, makes sense.
I feel it. I feel it. I feel
Yeah,
it.
like Amazon Prime.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah, we ain't. Yeah, bruh.
Yeah, yeah.
I
Man,
live
I
by
should have
Amazon
joined.
Prime.
I should have joined that Postmates and DoorDash like months ago. Months and months ago, I should have
yeah,
done it. But
You save all your bread,
you know
man.
how
yeah.
you be stubborn, like you're just like, nah, I'm not joining that shit.
That I was like that till I realized that two of my orders was like $10 worth of fees,
Yeah.
and I'm
Yeah,
ordering like 3 times a week. I'm like, okay, I've already paid more than that. You know?
yeah,
Cause shit,
yeah. The math don't lie.
and the way
Yeah.
gas is right now, ugh,
What?
I'll stay in.
And I have a
Yeah.
V8, Corvette Stingray,
Damn.
and I haven't been worrying about gas for some time now, but now I'm definitely worried.
Speaking of that, you got a car club, right?
I'm part of one, yes.
Tell us about the car club. Well, first of all, this brother Stingray is hard.
Nice.
And
Hard.
I'm gonna tell you why. So growing up, my godfather had an orange one,
Okay.
and or no, I think it was burgundy. It was burgundy, and it had like peanut butter inside. And I used to just when I go over there, I just sit in the driver's seat and act like I was driving, and I couldn't understand how the seat was so low, and the steering wheel was couldn't even see over the top of it.
Right.
I say all
Right.
that to say when I saw yours, I was just like, damn, it was killing. It brings me back. That's enough of me talking. Go
Yeah.
ahead.
Um, I'm part of a car club called Serious Business Car Club. A lot. It's with muscle cars, American made muscle cars. When I first joined, I had a '92 Camaro, which was kind of like an IROC body, if you
Hmm.
know about cars, and it was
Mhm.
convertible. And I had that for a while, and it was good to me. And then one day, it kind of got on my nerves. And every day, people ask to buy these cars off me. Every single day I drive. So one day, somebody caught me on a good day,
And
and
he's
they
like,
got it.
no.
Yeah.
Oh,
But this
nice.
Corvette that I have now, I'm taking this one to the.
Yeah, don't get rid of that
I'm
one.
they're gonna
taking.
they're gonna bury me in it.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
So
what's the upkeep on something like that? Because I used to work with somebody that had an old school Camaro, and he tried to drive it to work every day. It was a no bueno.
well, what you want to do is when you get one, you want to make sure you're getting one that's in a good space already. Um, yeah, get one in a good space. Like, don't get a bucket. Like get one that's like somebody
Mm-hmm.
kind of kept it up, and then you're in a good place because it's American made, so you can get the parts anywhere.
Hmm.
Like AutoZone
Right.
always has a variety of level of parts. Like they'll be like, if your pockets is low, you can get Value Craft. If
Hmm.
your pockets is a little bit
Mm-hmm.
higher, you can get this brand. So nothing ever costs more than like $200-300, if that.
Okay.
And then you're talking about labor. And we live in LA. There's many shops anywhere you could fall in and, hey man, put this in here for $100.
Hmm.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's not that expensive. It can be, but it's not.
We got a homie that got a Lolo, and he's
Yeah,
been doing his research.
that's expensive though.
Those are expensive.
Yeah.
That's expensive.
But
Yeah.
I think it's with anything, especially like old schools. You look at like they always say those. I like trucks, so that
Yeah.
Defender, the old school Defender is hard, but you're gonna be in the
Hmm.
shop tinkering with it all the time.
Unless you catch you a good one.
Yeah,
Like I really want to get a I love the two-door Tahoe from the
yeah,
'90s. Those
yeah.
two-door Tahoes.
Yeah.
I want to get one
Yep.
of those. Yeah.
Do you
Yeah.
do the
Yeah.
work
So
on
if
the
you
car
Yeah.
catch you a
yourself, or
good
you
one,
you, you have a good mechanic, or you kind of do a little bit of both?
there's a no. I don't do any. I know just light things, but I don't do any other work. I have like two different mechanics I'll go to, depending on what it is. Yeah.
Okay,
Mm-hmm.
good, good. We're gonna have to catch you on the
Yeah.
street one day. That Stingray
Yeah.
hard. Ooh, and it
Yeah.
got the it literally got the almost
And
the
you can take the tops
Stingray
off.
gray. Ooh,
Yeah.
I love it. I love it. I
Yeah.
love it. So I know we kind of getting to the end of the podcast, but just wanted to kind of round out. Let us know what's next. What's next for you? I know you said you got some projects coming down the pipeline. You just dropped
Right.
a video. You're gonna drop some more. What can
Right.
we expect from you, my brother?
Well, last year I dropped 3 albums of myself, and then I produced 3 other artists' whole albums myself. So I'm on track to doing that this year. I have another artist from Chicago. His name is Jams. I
Okay.
just finished his album, so that's kind of going to be a little bit of a theme that I'm kind of doing, where I'll just do like
Nice.
at least 3 of my albums and producing other artists' whole albums because it really does nothing to have one song on somebody's album these days. You know
Hmm.
what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Kind of putting
And
your
I'm
eggs
good
in
enough.
one basket, right?
Yeah, or just it's just financially or even me creatively, like not to really talk about like that, but like for me with music, have you ever seen those chess players that play like 8 people at one time?
Hmm.
Yeah.
I'm like that. Like I have to work on my album, somebody else's album, and have all these things going on, and it keeps my engine running. If I just worked on just one thing or just one person's album, it won't.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I could do it, but I've noticed if I'm doing a bunch at the same time, it just keeps me fresh. You know, I'm
Hmm.
working on this guy's
Right.
album, made him some songs. I'm juiced up. I go over here and make me one.
Okay.
So
I feel that. I
that's
feel
kind
that.
of how it is. So I want to do 2 more other people's whole albums this year.
Okay.
Yeah.
Being that you work with so many people, and this is gonna be a hard question for you. Um, who's your favorite person that you work with? And no shade to anyone else.
Hmm. Myself.
Ah, smart answer.
you
Bam.
know, I'm gonna say that back in the day, I probably would have had an answer. Now I'm like, you know what? It's when I'm with me at this point.
I feel
Mm-hmm.
that. I feel that. Oh,
Yeah.
you got anything else for my man?
Well, we want to know where everybody can find you. You know what I mean?
Definitely.
Drop
Okay.
your
On
info so they know where to look you up.
on all social media, it's polyester, Poly 3 ST 3R. So the E's are threes basically. And then YouTube or anything like that is just Polyester the Saint, exactly how it's spelled. Yeah.
And for all the young, aspiring polyesters in the world, drop some knowledge.
Right.
Give them some pearls of wisdom, my brother.
What I would say is have a plan for yourself. You know, I think I took a long time for me to realize that, where I was like, I was part of a lot of different people's teams,
Hmm.
but they weren't my team. You know what I mean? And I thought subconsciously like, oh, we're part of this team, but the program was really just for that to move. You know what I mean? And so I
Yeah.
would say kind of always remember that. I would say that's the biggest lesson I've learned, and I'm glad that I've learned it, and I'm applying it now.
Oh, I feel that, my brother. I feel that.
Yeah.
Can't wait to hear
Yeah,
It's
some of
perfect.
these new projects. Uh,
yeah.
and we're gonna sip soon, and we're gonna roll even sooner.
All right, for
There
sure.
it is.
All right, my
Yes, sir,
people.
man.
We
Thank you
we
for
was,
having me on here.
of course, my brother. Each
Yeah,
one
man.
teach
Thank you
one, and
for
we
coming
gotta we
on, of
gotta know
course.
these stories. We want to make sure you get your story out and let people know how you were able to achieve the success that you have achieved, and what your plans are going forward. Because it ain't easy.
Right.
Shit,
No, it's
Mhm.
not.
it
It's
ain't easy.
definitely not.
So. Well, all right, y'all. It's the Gumbo Pot Podcast. It's me, your
Yep.
host, Nigel Henderson, my trusty
This is
co-host,
me, Omar.
and Polyester the Saint. We
It's me.
checking out. Uh, y'all party people have a good day, and we're gonna check in with you next time.